Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the In Focus of February 3rd, 2022. And in this In Focus, we will be discussing the first priority area of the budget 2022-23, and that is PM Gati Shakti. So we have seen that the budget has placed four priorities, that is PM Gati Shakti, inclusive development, productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition, climate action, and financing of investments. Today, we will be looking at the details of PM Gati Shakti and how this will help the economy. So, as we know that infrastructure has been one of the most important focus of the government, and it has been in news since quite some time. Infrastructure is a set of fundamental facilities and a system that supports the functioning of any economic and social system, and therefore it is a basic requirement for development of the country. Infrastructure has been the requirement of the country, and we know that there have been various reports telling us that the nature of growth of the Indian economy requires more of infrastructure, and the government has been focusing on infrastructure. The recent plans of the government which have been launched shows the focus that the government is putting on infrastructure development. First among them is the National Infrastructure Pipeline, which is a 100 lakh crore project that focuses on major infrastructure projects and seeks to mobilize resources for brownfield and for greenfield infrastructure projects. The finances under the infrastructure pipeline have been divided into three, that is the center share, the state share, and the private sector. 39% being the center and the state, and 22% being the private. Then the other one is the National Monetization Plan that the government has launched to monetize the brownfield projects of the government to mobilize resources for infrastructure development. And now that is PM Gati Shakti. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan for Multi-Modal Connectivity in 2021. The master plan was not laid at that time and said that it will be placed in the near future, and so the budget has now provided its first requirement for this Gati Shakti. This is a digital platform which aims to bring 16 ministries, including the railways and the railways, together for integrated planning and coordinated implementation of infrastructure connectivity projects. The digital platform is something like a website, you can perceive it to be. So, under the PM Gati Shakti priority area of the budget, the union budget, it lays down these further components, that is completing 25,000 kilometers of national highways in this year, that is 2022 and 23, a unified logistics interface platform, open source mobility stack, integration of postal and railways network, one station, one product, to give boost to local products in the railway station, 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains, multimodal connectivity between urban transport and railway stations, national ropeways development plan, and capacity building for infrastructure project. So the Gati Shakti is based on 6 pillars. Let us look at them one by one. The first is comprehensiveness, which means bringing together or all together. So the existing and planned initiatives of various ministries and departments will be included under one centralized portal under Gati Shakti. These departments will have visibility of each other's activities by providing critical data while planning and executing the projects. Some of the planned activities of various ministries and departments include the Udan scheme of the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Sagar Mala of the Ministry of Shipping, Bharat Mala, a road development project of the Ministry of Road and Highways. The next pillar is prioritization. So different departments will have the opportunity to prioritize their respective projects via cross-sectorial interactions. Rather than focusing on different projects at their own pace, they will now lead to coordination and cooperation, and therefore prioritize on a single project and complete it in a time bound manner. Next is optimization. Optimization is nothing but making use of a resource in the best possible way. Under this, the ministries will be assisted in planning for projects after identifying the critical gaps. In view of the transportation of goods from one place to another, the plan will also assist in picking up the most optimum route based on time and cost. There will be optimization in various resources, as also the money that is spent for the project, to make every use of every money that is spent on the project. Next is synchronization. Synchronization means the operation of an activity of two or more things at the same time or a rate. Usually, we see that the individual ministries and departments work in silos. They have their own programs that are usually launched, and therefore they focus on them. And this is leading to lack of coordination observed in the terms of planning and implementation, which often results in delays, and delays leads to cost overruns. While with this plan in hand, the coordination between them will be ensured by synchronizing the activities of each department as well as the different layers of governance in a holistic manner. For example, let me give you a small example of, let us take Mumbai port development. Now, under the port development, we will need shipping related infrastructure, we will need warehousing related infrastructure, we will need interland connectivity by the way of roads, railways, or also maybe aviation. So what will happen is, if the government is taking up the project near the Mumbai port, then all these different ministries and departments will work in synchronization. They will be optimal utilization of the money, of the resources and time, and this will lead to moving away, will time bound completion of the project. This is the main aim for synchronization. The next one is analytical. Now, the GS based spatial planning and analytical tools will provide the entire data of this project at one place under this plan, and this will enable better visibility to the executing agencies and all the ministries that are included in executing this plan. And finally is dynamic. Through real-time data on the GIS platform, all the ministries and departments will visualize, review, monitor the progress of the cross-sectorial projects. Satellite imagery will be provided, and this will provide updates concerning the on-ground progress of the project periodically, and the progress of the projects on a regular basis on the portal, which will be also be able to be viewed by other agencies and other sections of the society. So with this, we have seen the 6 pillars of PM Gati Shakti, and the basic, you can call it the basic objectives of why PM Gati Shakti has been launched, has been covered under these 6 pillars. So under the budget, we have seen that we can see that the first ever outlay for PM Gati Shakti has been laid 20,000 crore for 2022-23, and in PM Gati Shakti will incorporate the infrastructure schemes of various ministries and departments such as Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Inland Waterways, Dry Lands and Ports, Udan. Now, economic zones such as textile clusters, pharmaceutical clusters, defense corridors, electronic parks, industrial corridors, fishing clusters, agri zones will be covered under this to improve connectivity and make Indian businesses more competitive. The finance minister has already said that this PM Gati Shakti is a transformative approach for economic growth and sustainable development. Now, this approach is driven by 7 engines, that is roads, railways, airports, ports, mass transport, waterways, logistic infrastructure. These 7 engines are also part of the national infrastructure pipeline. The PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan will encompass these 7 engines for economic transformation, seamless multimodal connectivity and logistics efficiency. The focus will be on planning, financing through innovative ways of using technology, and most important, speedier implementation. So coming now, how this plan will benefit the economy, the various analysis have said that it will lead to faster movement of goods and services. It will give the much needed impetus to the logistics sector. It will lay a strong pathway towards environmental friendly transportation development. Development of the metro system will give a boost to new warehousing and logistics facilities. It will raise the productivity and accelerate economic growth and development. A special focus on roads and railways could help local manufacturers, mainly if the idea of one station, one product is popularized, and especially the cargo terminals that will be developed under the master plan will be a boost to the exporters. So, Gati Shakti is a much awaited infrastructure plan that is being looked forward for development of various, especially the economic projects such as the clusters and also the economic corridors that are coming up in the country. However, the success of this plan will hinge on the development and the support that the MSMEs and the various manufacturing units are getting. Already there is a PLI scheme that has been launched in 14 sectors up to now for boosting exports and also make in India component. So the success of this Gati Shakti will be dependent on how well these manufacturing units make use of the infrastructure and also how fast the projects under Gati Shakti are implemented so that they can cater to various producing and manufacturing and export activities of the country. This brings me to the end of the first sector or first important priority area of the budget, as is the PM Gati Shakti. In the next, we will look at inclusive development. Until then, thank you.